First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Just about time to rock as Toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway from Ford Field. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. Well, this defense for the Lions, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Now it's Rodgers. Got a man. It's Amari Rodgers complete. And he is going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys that we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And he's got this down to the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now a first down carry by Jones. We'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
First carry now for A.J. Dillon. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
On play action, Rodgers. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
What will look like a march to the end zone is hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
On second. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. throw left side taken in by Rodgers. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. On third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And this one is right through. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 26. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing on third, Goff. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Goff. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 32-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains. The Lions at 5-3 now on the year. They come in playing some pretty decent football, 5-3 over their last 8.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Goff. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this 1st quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needed to come up with something here on 3rd and long. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And his kick is right there. It's good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Over the dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going.
We're certainly not going to see a better punt than that. Definitely taking a chance, because if that thing clips the pylon, it comes out to the 20, but instead, it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And, Charles, what a battle this is within the division, because these guys, they've got the lead, but not by much. On the other side of the field, they're knocking on the door and trying to equal them in the wins category.
And I love that second part that you talked about, equaling them in the wins category, because if somehow you get down to the end of the year and they're tied in record, head-to-head's always the first tiebreaker. So
and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. On the move to his left. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Knocked that down for a win in the defense's column.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Rodgers now to throw. Got a man able to find Rodgers. And he's going to have a Packers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is. to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Rodgers' throw complete here on target to Tunyon.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
A gain of 9 yards. And the Packers first down.
Rodgers going to throw. Escaping the
Hobbs. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Man open right side. It's Rodgers. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards the final tally. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
And again, it's Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones.
And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Now Jones. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown.
Aaron Jones hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year,
as his guys are able to extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes this a 9-point game.
Packers 12, Lions 3. Pat O'Donnell set to
after the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They got to take care of the ball.
Oh, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
Now Goff. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
2nd and 5 now. Goff.
That is into the hands of Hockenson downfield.
Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Hockenson, his 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Lions get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is down to 2. Now as they line up and kick this one away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
On play action, now Rodgers. Throw complete there, Rodgers. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Jones has it. And some room to roam now. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. And his kick is good. And that's going to up the lead to 15-10.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. You back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Charles, some things to like about that first half. Ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback, because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come out and continue to throw the ball effectively.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Goff. That pass caught. It's Williams. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Goff, a handoff here to Swift. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Back to throw, Goff. It's complete to Williams.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They run out of the gun with Swift. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
First down, and they go with Swift again. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Goff now to throw.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
There he goes, left side. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown.
So what a turn of events there. You're driving to take the lead in this third quarter, but then one mistake, and you're watching the ball being returned for a touchdown.
Certainly a great example of how focus has to be there on every play, doesn't it, partner? You can't get complacent, and I think that he did. He's got him moving downfield, but that's a play where he just shouldn't have thrown the football, and that ultimately could wind up costing him the ball game.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
The Lions take over first down 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
The last time, everything looked pretty good except that final play on the pick six, and now they've got into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off by Jair Alexander. Then into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. Extra point attempt to come here. And that one makes this a 19-point game.
Makes the score Packers 29, Lions 10.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone.
The Lions take over first down 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Goff now looks to throw. And that is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Goff.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Eric Stokes.
And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. Extra point attempt here still to come. And that will bump the lead up to 26.
Makes the score Packers 36, Lions 10.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Eric Stokes, and the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 30-yard line.
Now it's Rodgers. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. To throw is Rodgers.
On the out route, Dobbs brings it in.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
First down, Green Bay.
An inside give to Jones. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
First and goal, Green Bay.
Throwing is Rodgers. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
This is caught.
Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers.
Aaron Jones.
He has career touchdown number 78, tying him with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list.
And the Packers get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. There's Goff. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line.
46 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Could have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
And the Lions are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
Think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Back to the air. Goff on second down. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. A nice little juke. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And he is going to have the Packers first down as they pick up a big chunk of yards to boot. 18 of them.
And the Packer first down.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Rodgers. That'll be caught by Rodgers.
Down inside the 10.
Touchdown, Packers.
Amari Rodgers.
31 yards.
And the Packers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Lions 10. Pat O'Donnell set to kick off.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And that 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the fourth quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one. Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Goff. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, that means talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Julian Okwara in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21 from the shotgun to give to Jones. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Rodgers now to throw. He'll complete this one to Watson. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Packers unable to pick up the first, and the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, and the throw led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Meanwhile, Goff's throw taken in by Hockenson here. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Goff throwing again. That one complete. He finds Shark. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2. Goff. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. He's going to have the first down and more than that. Down the sideline he goes. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Extra point forthcoming. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play.
Packers 50, Lions 17.
So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Yikes, a 40-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. Rodgers throwing here.
Throw left side taken in by Rodgers.
And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Rodgers to throw for it on fourth. Looking deep downfield. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Goff on first down.
And pass caught. It's Williams.
He's at the 30. 10. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point splits the uprights as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
Lions 24. Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
They're on 17-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10 and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
At the 25-yard line.
2nd and 2.
Rodgers looking to throw.
That's complete to Dobbs.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the 4th quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ballgame.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh?